All right, guys, it is August. Wow. August 4th, my father-in-law's 89th birthday,
Oh
2020.
my.
And
Wow.
we are reading in The Habits of Health 2.8, Healthy Eating for Life, Your Transition to Permanent Health. And we're on page in the original book. It's the original um, copy 323, and it's called Your Current Reality is where we're starting.
Okay.
So you're now at your healthy weight and equipped with habits that will serve you well for the rest of your life. A life that may indeed be longer and of higher quality. Isn't just soak that in for a minute. Because of your decision and now your choices because of that decision, your life may indeed be longer and higher quality. And looking back at my last 11 years, that is such a beautiful statement. So, as you align with your fundamental choices, so let's review these habits. You're eating smaller portions at regular intervals every 3 hours. You're eating lower glycemic carbohydrates, healthy proteins, and healthy fats and oils. And recognize as you're in this area, you're going to be totally understanding lower glycemic carbohydrates, healthy proteins, not sausages, even ham is less. Hot dogs, not enough protein and way too much fat and a whole bunch of stuff that you don't want in them. And also healthy fats and oils. And those words are very impactful. We don't just balance carbohydrates and fats, and we those extra little names are very important. And I think that was my awareness actually a couple of years into coaching. When I was in this education, I really started becoming aware of what that meant and what the impact was when I shifted into those. So you've learned how to plan meals in advance. Again, preparedness, mindfulness. You've learned how to plan meals in advance so you're no longer just reacting to hunger and your environment. Instead of reacting, which is that fast, we stop, we take a breath, stop, challenge, we look at both sides of it, and then we choose. So we're able to respond instead of react. Boy, some big lessons right here in this one little piece. And I will tell you throughout the book, after reading it and reading it and reading it, I've decided that the foundation of the book is awareness, preparedness, and mindfulness. Everything that he teaches us come down to those three things again and again and again. If we don't know, we don't know. Well, guess what? We're becoming people who know and understand. And the more that we're in this, the more that we become a healthy person because of awareness, mindfulness, and preparedness. So
What was that last one?
preparedness,
Oh, prepared. Okay. Thank you.
always prepared. So, and that's my little extra lesson. He never says that anywhere in here. That's just my underlying what I have found.
Hmm.
As a result, you've gone from an overweight fat storing state to fat burning state and have reset your body weight. You've also turned up the heat, making it easier to maintain your healthy weight. Now it's time to move forward by solidifying your healthy eating strategies and continuing your journey towards optimal health. And let's read that one again too. You've also turned up the heat, making it easier to maintain your healthy weight. What does that mean? That first sentence, you've gone from an overweight fat storing state to a healthy fat burning state and have reset your body weight. So our body weight is that place that we just stay at, and we want it to reset. We want to recalibrate at that lower weight. We do have to eat healthier foods, which actually is larger portions because healthy food, they're bigger. But also with the program and the reset that we're doing now and with the essential amino acids, we're building skeletal muscle. That's been incredible to watch. I mean, even over this last week, the 7 that I've been working with, we are up 10 pounds of subcutaneous skeletal muscle. We've been doing a pilot program, up 10 pounds. Yeah, we've lost 30, but that's 40 pounds of impact between us when we've gained 10 pounds of muscle. That muscle is fat burning. It's active tissue. Fat is not active tissue. Fat doesn't burn anything other than it makes you heavy so that you burn a little bit more. But realistically, our foundational calorie burn, because we have more muscle, is staying higher. So even though our body mass is coming down, we're burning more, so that foundational calorie burn, that BMI, basal metabolic rate, is staying pretty high. It's probably coming down a little bit because our bulk is coming down a little bit, but it's not going anywhere as low as it could if we were if we were doing GLP-1s and had no foundation like ours. They're telling us that 50% of what is lost is muscle. That's aging us backwards. That's not aging us forward. That's making us gain age. Really, that muscle is what helps us age gracefully. So anyway, so yeah, if somebody had no foundational way to fuel their body using GLP-1s, they lost 40 pounds. 20 pounds of that would be their muscle. We don't want that. Literally with our program, and we're the only program that says we can do this because we have the clinical studies to prove it. We can gain muscle while we're losing fat, and we target visceral fat. And I can't remember the stats. What is it? 14% visceral fat. When you're working with a coach, it does take working with a coach and helping in here to help you navigate through those steps. Okay. Wow, I have been off on my side tangents. Okay, your current reality. Starting point, current reality, and optimal health. And he has little circles like this if you don't have your book with you. And the overweight fat storage state is red. And then as you're moving through it, you move to yellow, which is healthy weight, fat burning state, healthy eating. And then over to the right is the lean body, habits of health and optimization. Or now we're calling that the renew phase. And I love he's still using the red, yellow, and green. And I love that our Renpho scale now is when you're all green, you're in that sweet spot where you're going to live longer. You're going to have quality life. Yellow is dangerous. Red, he laughedly says, red is dead. He doesn't mean one choice is going to make you dead, but he laughs and says it will make death come and find you sooner because of everything that we're doing. So as you enter phase 2, your current reality has shifted from your starting point. This transition brings you closer to optimal health. Overview of your transition. The transition to your lifetime healthy eating strategy consists of 2 parts. Adding calories until you reach your body set weight point. That's calories in, calories out, which is a key part of keeping insulin level at a healthy level and leptin working effectively. And the second part is introducing a full range of foods to support optimal health and maintaining your healthy weight. First, let's figure out your body set weight, or your set point, which is determined by 2 different measures. First is the insulin-leptin balance, which you will know is dialed in because you will not be hungry and you will have lots of energy. The second measure will be your response to adding calories. The point at which the number of calories you take in is equal to the number of calories you use. And at that point, your weight will stop fluctuating. The best way to reach that point is to figure out how many calories you burn in the course of the day. That will allow us to know how many calories you should eat daily to maintain your healthy weight. Again, and this transition piece, this what we're calling refine now, it's really important to take the 6 weeks to move from that fat burn science over to calories in, calories out. And week by week, week by week, there's specific stuff. And I will tell you guys, if you have not seen the transition site, maybe website, it's incredible. I love it. Literally, you're on the week 1 tab, you go down through and you open up like glycemic index of veggies, and you go down, and I can't remember, there's something else. But it has all of those charts and tells you exactly each day what do you mark off. Oh, just an additional veggie and an additional veggie. Ta-da! And then you click the top at the top for week 2. It's so beautiful. And you'll have to have that sent to you if you're not a coach, by your coach, because it's in the coach hub, not the client hub. So we send it to you and you can mark it and keep it. But it's absolutely beautiful. And once you're in that renew phase, you're optimizing your health, always striving for greater health. You want to be fully aware of like your exercise. If you're exercising one day and you're burning an extra 300 calories, you've got an extra 300 calories. You can eat or you don't have to. But you want to be paying attention to how many calories you burn each day. So you know, it's really important to know what you're eating. But it's beautiful the way they lay it out. And they actually bring in the lean and green plus meals, which is really fun for us. Something about that, something that he teaches, and he's going to teach in here just because we're here, I'm going to throw this out here, is to always be a couple hundred calories below what you burn. And having that little discrepancy will keep you at a better place than trying to hit exactly 1,600 calories or exactly 1,800 calories. If you on a regular basis burn 1,800 calories, stay about 1,600 calories. And my goal when coaching is to never have anybody go back to 5 and 1. That's not a place where you've become a healthy person. And trust me, I've gone 5 and 1 and I've gone 5 and 1. I know. But my goal is really to help people get to that place. Oh, my pants are a little tight. Let's talk about that. Let's create those meals. Let's create those meals a little smaller for a while. You know, maybe take out the fruit for a while. Maybe take out, but still eating 6 times a day. And those habits of health are the keystone of everything. We have to be living in those 6 habits of health and being fully aware of those. So, okay, what is transition? Or now we call it refine. In phase 1, we focused on decreasing your weight and eliminating the extra fat in your body, which will dramatically improve your health and fitness. We have taught you a series of new eating habits that have lowered your total energy consumption and improved the quality of food you are now eating. As a result, we have specifically limited the types and amount of food you ate by burning the extra fat stored by your body. So you're at a point where you have modified your body weight set point and accomplished your first major desired outcome. Your body is much healthier, and by protecting your muscle from being cannibalized, we're not burning muscle. We're targeting fat. So your body is much healthier and protecting your muscle from being cannibalized because we have flipped the metabolic switches. You're generally much healthier. In order to continue making progress, we need to transition your body to the full range of healthier foods that will allow you to eat more exciting variety of meals. And we need to make sure we do not add too much healthy calories or overstimulate insulin in the process of transition from phase 1 to phase 2. Because you have lost weight, it's important that your calorie consumption is reduced. You have lowered your total size, and we need to increase the set point that will allow you to gradually increase more energy in order to increase energy expenditure. It is important to keep the balance of the set point so that you increase leptin, but stop insulin from increasing, which will prevent any traditional weight gain. We are going to estimate how much energy your body uses by calculating your current energy expenditure to help you provide a starting point and target for your transitioning calorie intake. We are going to use a very simple formula now, which will give you a great place to start transition, but we will make the formal scientific calculation available at health.com for those who want to be more precise. What follows are the determinants which will help you know how to increase your expenditure. So that's just how many calories you burn. And again, there's a very simple, I'm not sure. I just go to Google and ask for a TEE, total energy expenditure calculator, and you put in your height and your weight, and if you're a female, and it'll kind of give you a guesstimate. Now, if you're burning extra calories with exercise, again, that brings that calories up. And I do want to tell you something. It's different for each person. I have a gal, I'm not going to say her name, but she weighs 370 pounds. I weigh 143 pounds. I have twice as much muscle as she does. I burn the same amount of calories as she does. So there's lots of different math equations in there that we don't even understand. Because she has half the muscle, because I have twice as much muscle, I burn at a basal metabolic rate. I mean, that baseline, the same amount of calories that she does. So again, there's so many, we got to figure out our calorie intake, and doing a height to weight to female doesn't make it true. So again, I just want to help make you aware. You're moving your markers to all green. That's the goal. And it's doable with this program. But again, we just have to be fully aware. We have to learn and educate ourselves and become that person where all of these things are just things that we work through. We don't hold them against ourselves. We work through and we move forward, and we're always striving for greater health in the renew phase. Okay, sidebar, transition from Dr. A. Transition, a process or a period marked by change, the passage from one state to another. Transition is that place where we recalibrate our metabolism because we've messed it up pretty good. Most of us, not everybody, but most of us, because we aren't following the habits of health, we're following the habits of disease. So stepping into this is a huge thing for our body. So determine your total energy expenditure, TEE. Want to figure out how many calories you need to eat in phase 2 to keep those genes fitting just right? The most common method is a simple formula to calculate your total energy expenditure, or TEE. Calculating your TEE as it is right now at your healthy weight will help us determine your optimal caloric intake during this phase. We'll work on increasing that number in the next section as part of our overall habits of health strategy. Your TEE is determined by 3 figures. Your basal metabolic rate, now that's the one that I talked about, and that's on your RIMPO scale. Your physical activity, PAL, and also the thermic effect of food you eat. So recognize that number on your scale is not how many calories you burn. That's just your body. If you were laying down all day, how many calories it would burn. That's, with your muscle being active tissue and burning more calories, or if you only have fat, or so that's only one of 3. Together, these show us how quickly your body is burning the fuel you're taking in, day out. Let's begin by looking separately at those 3 components. So I love this because we're going to have a foundation of what this is. But trust me, when he gets over to totally calculating it, go to the calculator. But we have to be aware and understand what it all means. So left sidebar, turn off the TV during meals. Studies show that watching TV during meals increases likelihood that you'll overeat. Okay, here are the three. Basal metabolic rate, BMR. This is the energy you use for your basic bodily needs, even when your body is at rest. It's using fuel to breathe, grow, circulate your blood, adjust your hormone level, repair cells, and perform other functions. Typically, BMR is the largest portion of the TEE energy equation. Because the energy required by these basic functions remain fairly consistent, this number doesn't tend to change much. Now, physical activity level. This is the second one, PAL. This is the energy you use when you move, play tennis, walking to the store, chasing after a dog. You have control of this number and can change it quite a bit depending on the frequency, duration, and intensity of your activities. Thermic effect of food, TEF. This is the energy your body uses to process your food. Digesting, absorbing, transporting, and storing food all take energy. About 10% of the calories you use each day for the most part. This number stays steady. Take a look at the following diagram. You'll see that BMR is the largest energy user, accounting for 60 to 75% of your daily expenditures. PAL ranges from 25 to 30%, and TEF takes up 10 to 15%. So here's the total energy expenditure, and there's the little, you can see the BMR is the largest one, and then we've got the other two. PAL is 25 to 30%, and again, the basal metabolic rate is 60 to 75, and thermic effect of food, 10 to 15%. Okay, so to find out how much energy you use and how many calories you should be eating, we're going to use a simple formula that incorporates your basal metabolic rate, your physical activity level, and the thermic effect of food you eat. Each of these three components accounts for a certain percentage of your total daily energy use. One thing that I wanted to talk about on the thermic effect of food with fruit, well, actually with everything, we always want to partner a protein with it, and it slows down the processing. We actually burn more calories, but it also keeps the blood sugar from spiking. So like fruit, we always want to pair it with a protein. Carbohydrates, crackers or things, we always want to pair it with a protein. And be really careful if you're doing cheese because it can have too much fat. And recognize fat is calorie dense. We've learned all of this in the books. One serving of fat is almost 100 calories. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, 200 calories because it's fat and it's highly dense with calories. That's 2 tablespoons is not very much. I mean, it wouldn't take me much. Anyways, we won't go into my issues and why we don't have peanut butter in our house. Calculating your TEE. Now that you know what goes into your TEE, let's start figuring out your number. There are a couple of options available to help us, some more accurate than others. If you're not a math major or don't feel like getting out the calculator, you can start with a rough method to calculate your daily caloric intake. This initial number doesn't need to be exact, since it's only a starting point that you'll be adjusting as you monitor your weight throughout transition. Now, again, this is during transition. This is not during the weight loss phase. We don't have to necessarily know this because we're very precise with fueling the body 5 in 1. This is as we start becoming aware for the next stage. Again, transition, it's just change. It's the next step, but it will recalibrate our metabolism. Okay, so option 1, the easy way to calculate your TEE. To find out your TEE using the easy method, use the following formula. Your current weight in pounds times 11 calories equals TEE. daily caloric need. This formula is based on a sedentary individual, so you'll need to adjust it as you step up your exercise. See below. Multiply your TEE by 1.2 for light exercisers. Actually, light exercisers, I tell them, I step back 1 on the exercise. I don't add anything for light exercise. And I step back 1 step for each. So it says 1.5 for moderate exercisers and 1.7 for heavy exercisers. Again, I encourage you to go back 1 and work with that instead and see if it works, because there's very few people who I would say, maybe a bodybuilder, 1.7 for the TEE. For example, 162 pounds times 11 calories equals 1782 times 1.2 for the exercise. The light exercise is 2138. Remember to recalculate this number as you track your weight over the next several weeks. So if you come down, you want to readjust that. Now, option 2, formula TEE calculations. Go to the Habits of Health, and you can calculate the individual contribution of each component. Now that you know how to calculate your TEE, let's find out the best way to add foods and increase your daily calorie consumption to match. Okay, it must be the Habit or the Your Lifebook that really breaks each one of these down and really explains it. So if you want some good information to be aware of, it's in Your Lifebook. So your transition eating plan. Oh my gosh, we're out of time. I've been talking way too much.
That went fast.
These last couple of weeks. Yep. Okay, so next week we will be your transition eating plan. So thanks for joining me, guys. Any questions or stop the recording?